Public service announcement! DeadAss is out now on all streaming platforms. Go stream that. Click the link in my bio right now. Go stream that right now. I don't know what you waiting for, why you keep listening and watching this video. I don't know for what. Just go stream my new single. It's out now. Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Tidal, Deezer, Napster, everywhere. Make a story. Hit me up. Tag me. Listen to the song DeadAss Like Tony out everywhere right now. Woo!
Little kids that are 6 years old that are singing in front of the mirror, they're also thinking about their Grammy speech. They're thinking about winning a VMA. So these people, whoever run them, they have to take some responsibility to say what really happened in culture this year, because we're marking it down.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think Runaway will get that attention.
But it's not about me. Runaway, I don't really care about me. That's what you gotta understand.
Okay.
I'll jump in front of a moving car for history.
Just don't talk. Just don't talk. Yeah.
Who this?
Those demons inside you. Let them go. Or it's too late.
I'm dying.
No way! I can't believe this!
Oh no, man, come on. Oh no. Don't die on me. God damn it. Don't die. Fuzzy.
Somebody did this.
We're back with a good friend to the show, much heralded, much esteemed, much respected, which is, of course, to my right again, Brenden. The realest of the Brendens, the last of the Brendens, Brenden, the most of the Brendens. So you got to emphasize it because you got two E's, unlike a E and a A, which would make a Brenden on a regular doubt if he's even worthy of having that name. But he's got two E's. You got to emphasize the excellence. Your mama did a good job. Mama Brenden, shouts to her as always. Too gully for the hospital, but she stays there in check. Not as a patient, but as a staff. I'm sure she raised you right.
Yeah.
The Brooklyn way, at least.
Yes.
Which, you know, of course, like I'll clarify again. By the way, something spectacular. Who this? I'm the host. Audio-visual format available.
Yes.
Link in the bio on the IG. IG's at whothis.is. Please support the visual version of the podcast now as well, too.
Please do. Please do.
YouTube.com/whothisis1. You know, I like to emphasize the one at the end because, as you mentioned, you probably will be getting to Twitch, as you should, and rightfully so. I have that as my username on Twitch and on PS4. Who this is one, because I like to say one day because I suck as a gamer. Who this is one at the end, especially with Call of Duty coming out too as well. Cold War. Played the alpha and the beta demo. Got my ass whooped a couple times.
Yeah, I'm. To be honest, man, I'm not good at those. I'm not really good at those games. Like I'm good at zombies. Zombies is great, but I'm not really good at the multiplayer regular Call of Duty thing. So I didn't pre-order it yet. I'm probably just gonna wait till it comes out. But I did pre-order Miles Morales.
Oh yeah, and I saw everywhere they're saying it's really good.
Yeah, I did pre-order that. So
Did you play the first Spider-Man?
Yeah, I just finished it.
Okay.
Actually, disclaimer: I haven't played games in like almost like maybe 10 years, maybe like 6 years, 7 years.
That long?
Yeah, I haven't had a console in that long. I sold it when I was like really getting serious with my music. I decided that I didn't want anything to distract me from what I wanted to pursue in my life, music and any other thing in general. But now that I got a console again this year, I got a PS4. I've been playing all the games that I've missed.
Okay.
So like The Last of Us, like talking about just like great games like Red Dead Redemption 2, and I might get Grand Theft Auto soon. So I'm a little late, but I did play all the blockbuster hits. So I played The Last of Us. I played the God of War that came out. I played Spider-Man, and Spider-Man was the last. I think one of the last games I played, and I beat the story and things like that.
Okay.
So I can't wait for Miles Morales. I'm looking forward to it.
It's looking really good. I saw some reviews for it, like no critiques besides like they just improved on the older version.
Yeah, it's just I mean that might be, I guess, maybe a downfall to some gamers. But to be honest, like I'm not like I love video games, but I'm not like a video game head the way I am a film and music head.
Right.
So like I'm not a part of the Xbox PS4 debate. I really don't care. I care about exclusives because I care about games itself. I don't really care about the online experience.
Right.
You know, a lot of gamers are gonna crucify me for this. It's fine. But like it's not that I don't care about it. Like I'll play it, but it's not something to me that it's like a make or break when I purchase a console or purchase a game and things like that. I do care about bugs though. I'm a big deal with like bugs and things like that. But like as far as like the online experience, it's cool. But I just really want to just play a game. I want to play a game and I want to experience it. And I think the most important thing for me is story. It has to have a storyline. I think if it has a great storyline, and it's great. But yeah, that's just me. So I can't wait to play Miles Morales.
Yeah, it's going to be good. But then there's a whole thing now where I think I read correctly where next week, I believe, considering we're recording now.
Yeah.
Next week is when PS5 officially drops, as well as I believe Xbox Series X, whatever it's called.
I think it drops the same day all these games drop. Because Call of Duty and Miles Morales, I think, come out the same day.
November 13th.
Right? 13, 12, something like that,
It's like, I think, 20 games dropping on the day of.
Yeah, and I think that's the same day that PS5 is dropping.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But the funny thing they're doing with PS5 is, if I read correctly, is that there's going to be no way for you to stand online to wait in store the day of.
Yes, I did hear that.
You have to order online beforehand and go pick it up.
Yeah.
Don't bother waiting online trying to buy one.
Yeah, because you're not going to get it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the white. This is what bothers me a little bit because I got coerced kind of into the PS4 I got the all white, like the glacier white one.
Oh, you got the white one?
Because I got it after the fact I got the PS4 Pro.
Okay.
And I was looking for the black one, because that matters, color.
Yeah.
But I ended up getting swindled into the white one because the guy at GameStop was like, oh, but look at the white one. It's so clean and pristine and so like unseen before. It's like, come on. We're going to do that too with this and all things. I was like, all right, that's the only one they had in stock.
I'm waiting for the black PS5.
That's the team I'm on.
All my electronics, I feel like if your electronics are not black, like, nah, like your electronics need to be black. Like your video game systems, like I never had another color of like any like electronic. Like it was always black. I had a black Game Boy, unless I guess the ones that I couldn't. So like I guess the first system I had was a Super Nintendo. That was great.
Right.
But like after that, like every other console I got was black. Oh, except the 360 because they had the white.
Oh yeah. And then funny enough, that was the one that always had the ring of death too. The white ones.
Oh man, yeah.
The black ones were good.
Rest in peace.
The black ones actually,
the black ones matter.
But yeah, that's PS5 talk. That's all that gamer talk. We're not playing games here, especially considering what we got in front of us. We're celebrating that. The historic day upon us now. History being made hours before we started recording today as well. Of course, I made the impromptu mistake, unwillingly, I mean to say, because I proved how stupid I can be on occasion. It even happens to me. Even though I should probably change half my acronym at this point. I don't know what to do anymore, man, because, listen, I booked the spot we're in right now, which is Brooklyn, right? Technically, or is it still borderline Queens?
This is weird.
It's like a gray area.
Yeah, this is like the actual like the block that like separates maybe Brooklyn and Queens. So this is like Ridgewood. So I guess this is Brooklyn, Queens. I don't know, man. I don't know.
We'll just leave it as the gray area.
We'll just we'll leave it as Ridgewood.
If like Hitchcock was still alive, he'd probably do an episode about this block and the horrors this thing probably sees. Let me scurry over here real quick. I'm in Queens. You can't catch me now, coppers. Something like that.
I passed the line.
But yeah, I made the mistake of, long story short, I went to the wrong studio, courtesy of Pirate. I went to Gowanus of all places, Williamsburg, whitewash Brooklyn.
It's okay.
Instead of heading over here where, I had you waiting, unfortunately, and I apologize again for that profusely.
It's okay.
Please don't take it out on me afterwards.
It's okay.
I know you're not like that anymore. We all went through our youths as you being a Brooklyn boy and I'm a Queens kid, Please don't hit me with the glizzy, either the hot dog or the piece. Pause, by the way, too, whichever way you interpreted that.
Pause. Mega pause. I pray to God that they won't use this as a soundbite.
I mean, because I had to read into that because I
I
understood
can
it one
see
way.
it now. I can see it now. Please don't hit me with the glizzy.
Please.
All over. All over.
Not the
Just
glizzy.
that one. Please.
Not the glizzy.
Not the glizzy. You asked for it. Here comes the no, not the glizzy. No.
Well, I had the Urban Dictionary, and yeah, there's that glizzy to be misinterpreted and pause
And a
worthy.
gun, and a
then
gun.
the gun, right. Which I always thought they were talking about the gun, but then, there was that whole mix-up too, so I'm not really up on the hip terms anymore, so. Especially not gun terminology. I need a refresher course on that.
Imagine.
Who do I hit up for that? Do I hit up Frankie? Because he's in a pretty bad part of Brooklyn, I heard.
Yeah, it's where I live.
Okay, so then I can just touch base with you then. Pause, I mean.
And it,
Glizzy,
and then
touch
confirm
base.
with Frankie, and then we'll just vote on it.
Yes.
Yes.
Glizzy.
Massa.
Your glizzy's got some masa on it.
Oh no!
Pause. Pardon me.
Hey yo.
Enough glizzies, but
Enough glizzies. We've had enough of glizzies.
And speaking of glizzies, I mean the hot dogs or whatever, or whichever way you want to take that. Pause, by the way. There's a whole culture for that, but we're shining like them too, just like this thing is here too.
That's right.
It's on showcase. It's on display.
That's right.
It's actually tangible too, by the way, in case you're asking. It's not like a printout cardboard or whatever.
Yeah,
it's a
I love
legit
it.
physical thing.
Wow.
Of all things, we need to celebrate as fans of Kanye. Listen, there's the fact that, first off, let me not be rude. We'll get to this. This is the centerpiece right here. But right now, we'll lead into it. You have something releasing soon enough. As we record, and by the time you get this, it'll be out officially.
Yeah.
But you might as well tell the people, as a quote-unquote, you said yourself with the single, DeadAss. What are we to expect now from Brenden?
So November 12th. Yeah. Actually, I think it might be the same day of the PS5.
I think it might be a day early.
Let me see. PS5 drop date.
Well, oddly enough, PS5 drops on Friday the 13th.
PS5 November 12th.
Oh, it does. It's a Thursday. Wait a second. So are they being superstitious then?
Yeah, November 12th. Probably. Friday the 13th. Yeah, probably. So, yes. My single comes out same day PS5 drops. I have a single called DeadAss, like Tony. Really excited for the song. Really excited for the drop. I just been super busy working on so much music. To be honest, at the rate I'm going, I think by next year I'll probably have about maybe 15 to 20 songs already ready. I've been working I've been having a lot. So yeah, this may be the last release for this year because we're entering the holidays.
Right.
May or may not be. Might have something else dropping, like a video or something like that. Mm-hmm. But as far as a single, this may be the last drop for this year. But come next year, come January, I'm coming in strong. Don't quote me on this, but I might be releasing every 2 weeks or every month, depending on how I feel. But by the time we get to next week, I promise you I'll have enough music to release every week.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So I guess I'll make a decision and see what happens. But I'm working on a lot, and starting November 12th, it's DeadAss, like Tony, drops on all streaming platforms. Please make sure you pre-save it, but you're going to listen to this after it drops. So just stream it. Make sure you go on Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify, Deezer, Google Play, iTunes, Napster, Shazam. It's on Instagram if you want to make some stories with it. It's going to be on Twitch as well if you want to use it for streaming purposes. Where else? It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be everywhere. TikTok as well. Obviously. Just made a TikTok. Maybe maybe a week into TikTok. I'm pretty new to it.
You just did?
Yeah, I just made it.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, I just made a TikTok maybe a week or two ago. So yeah, so it's gonna be on TikTok. I'll be using a lot of that. I'll be using that song on TikTok. So yeah, DeadAss Like Tony, produced by Bibilari, and I just can't wait for you guys to hear it. So go now, stream it right now. Spotify.
Right now.
Follow me on Spotify.
And listen, by the way, everywhere he said you can get it is where you're going to get it. If
Everywhere.
you have to. You got no excuses. All entries, all holes leading to the portals that go right back into your ears. That means you're going to listen to DeadAss, and you might as well be dropping dead afterwards, because DeadAss, there's nothing comparing to DeadAss like Tony, like Brenden said.
That's right.
That's absolutely it. That's the absolute truth. November 12th, you get your PS5. Here's the game plan, all right? Go pre-order online right now. You buy it ahead of time, dummy. That's what that means. Whoever you are. Applicable to you everywhere. November 12th, you get online to pick up your PS5. You set up your PS5. You sign on to the PSN network. I know because I own a PlayStation 2, so I can speak in confidence. I'm not being dumb this time. You log into PSN. You log into your Twitch. Okay, you gotta wait for Brenden to do his Twitch thing. But then more importantly, you log into Spotify. Whatever music you can get on your PS5, the same day of is when DeadAss is right there waiting.
Same day.
It's in the cloud.
And if you're a film buff like me,
Yeah.
you're going to know what I'm alluding to. DeadAss Like Tony.
You better.
So for all you film buffs out there, if anybody that loves Scarface as much as I do, you're going to like the song. I just can't wait. I just can't wait for all this new music I'm going to be giving you guys. I'm just, to be honest, I'm just really happy.
And here's to your credit, actually, too. It's so exclusive what you're working on with DeadAss. Out by the time you see this and hear this now. I didn't even get a snippet ahead of time. I didn't even get an advanced copy or a rough draft or a airdrop or nothing.
Nobody.
I can't get one.
Nobody.
Not even me.
Nobody got one. No one got it.
Everybody here is virgin to this.
Everybody
Popping
is
cherries.
virgin. Virgin ears.
Flicking them open.
Virgin ears. It is very nice. And it will be great success.
How'd you feel about Borat 2, by the way?
I loved it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think the actress did a great job.
Oh, she was great.
I thought it was going to flop. But she, it's because of her that the movie did extremely well for me.
I'd say so, yeah.
Because if it would have just been him, I mean the storyline was pretty creative too. It was funny, but if it had just been him, I don't think it would have gave that effect.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I kind of love they reached out and pulled a Bulgarian. I think she's Bulgarian, a Bulgarian actress, and put her in American mainstream. And yeah, she blew up. She's dope.
I'm glad
dope.
she did. She's really good.
Yeah, me
comedic
too.
time and all that stuff.
Me too. She was great. She was great. I loved the movie. It was awesome. It was awesome.
It was really good. But yeah, go finalizing on DeadAss, because you know what? It matters. It really does. But listen, something else that matters and possibly concerns me a little bit regarding DeadAss. There's the fact that there's a whole community that literally has to live with a dead ass, meaning the paraplegics, the people in wheelchairs. With the release of DeadAss, are you concerned you might have some backlash, considering how sensitive everybody is now with, hey, I got a dead ass. Why are you trying to shine the light on me unconsciously, Brenden? It has to be asked. The people are waiting to hear it from you, sir. Official press release from Brenden.
I do not condone cyberbullying, sexual exploitation, of any kind. I do not agree with the disrespectful comments that may or may not be said, thought, or alluded to people with dead asses.
Legit.
I will not stand by and be entertained with this nonsense. I love you all. And because I love you all, the title of this song does not have 2 S's. Instead, it has $2. So in essence, technically, it's just that ching. Go in peace.
It's very gracious of you to address that publicly.
I had to.
I know it was hard for you to do that, but I figured, you know what? Before anyone jumps on ship and says, "Hey, Brenden, my ass is dead too. What about me?" Whatever.
They matter.
Yeah,
I love you all.
dead ass. It matters. That's good. That's
Ching.
right. Dead ass. Ching ching. Doesn't matter. Not like that song "Ching Ching" from that girl. What was her name? Timberland co-signed. Miss Jade. Ching ching. That
No,
beat was
not
slapping.
like her. Not like her.
But yeah, she went nowhere after that song, so catch a beat. But you might as well do her favorite freestyle over that on YouTube, just to give it like a penny.
I should
with the
I
stream.
should give her some like 0.333300033%.
Something. We're all about being charitable.
A little bit, yeah.
Why not? But yeah, DeadAss already out officially November 12th. New single from Brenden, of course. More to come. According to him and knowing his work schedule, his work ethic, most importantly, your lazy ass, and you sitting on your proverbial dead ass because you're not doing nothing.
What have you
Watch
done
it.
lately?
Watch him.
What
Exactly.
have you done lately?
Exactly. Waiting.
I'm waiting.
Check your ass. Is it dead? Might as well be.
You should be working till your ass is dead.
Exactly. Till you're laid out and your ass is dead in dirt.
You know what? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Because for every time that you do not work, every time you don't get out of your lazy dead ass and work, I will work for you.
It's like a stimulus plan. Yeah. You want that second stimulus check? Just look at Brenden. It'll motivate your ass to get back to work.
Let's go.
That's right. But yeah, you know what, Brenden? Listen, we've alluded to it. We've built up to this moment right now.
Anticipation.
Anticipation is bubbling to the surface.
Like foreplay to the max.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like we started with 2 fingers in there, and now we're up to 3. And then she's like screaming for the thumb to work the clit a little bit too, counterclockwise. She's ready to just like spurt like a geyser, spew, take off like a rocket. That's what I learned from Cyhi anyway. When they were talking about the move and everything alluding to it, it was all the thumb working counterclockwise. I didn't realize that until I was in my 30s. I'm sorry. Cyhi keeps teaching me. That's why I pass on to the youth proudly. But they're too stuck, watching Friends or something relating to that.
Friends
Whitewash.
suck. Sorry.
Yeah, it did. No, I
Friends
co-sign
is
that
not
100%.
funny.
Absolutely.
Friends is
Which, funny enough, this guy here, the creator of this album, released 10 years ago, November 2010, coming up to a dime's worth of glory, a decade worth of artistry. He
low-key,
said,
I think this, like, we're alluding to it, but like, yeah, this is definitely the greatest art. This is definitely, well, in my opinion, he's the greatest artist of all time. But this album specifically, like, him being the greatest artist of all time may be my opinion, and it's a good opinion, but it can be very argued. But
Yeah.
this is what can really not be argued. This is definitely the greatest album in the last 10 years. Like, I would say this next to Pimp a Butterfly. I think though that like the 2010s, like from 2010 to 2020, I don't think there's not another album that can top this album as far as like greatness, just music in general. Like,
it'd be hard to do.
it's very hard. Like, to be honest, again, like the only album that I think that comes to mind that could give this a fight is the Pimp a Butterfly. I'm really thinking too myself. It's not coming up. So
It's
yeah.
in that realm, yeah. Close enough to this level of like, whoa. Coming back to old Ye and then introducing new Ye in the mix as well too, like a blend of.
Yeah.
I'd go with that, obviously. But what was I saying before?
Friends.
Oh yeah. Well, of all guys, our guy Kanye, on and off, depending on how he acts that week, he co-signed saying Seinfeld was the greatest sitcom of all time on Twitter some years ago.
Oh, nice.
And co-signed Larry David as a creative genius.
Nice.
As well, which I'm a big fan of Curb now. I just started watching this year, because of the pandemic.
That's awesome.
And I'd say, for me at least, Seinfeld, Curb is like Seinfeld on steroids, pretty much. But you got to really be a fan of Seinfeld to even
to actually get the humor.
Get the humor, but also tolerate it.
Okay.
Because are you familiar with that comedian Andrew Santino, redhead from Chicago?
Yeah.
Like, he's hilarious, by the way. He rages a lot, so he's like funny. But he, what did he say? I think he was the one that said, like, if you watch too many episodes of Curb back to back, it is funny, but the way he behaves, Larry David will, like, kind of get to you under your skin at some point. Like, this is just too much for one person to act this way. Because he'll make a mountain out of a molehill out of anything. But, yeah, it's a great show. I'll allude to that. But more importantly, back to the point at hand. The masterpiece in front of us. The Holy Grail, as we should praise it as such. This right here is my dark, beautiful, twisted fantasy. Or is it my beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy?
My beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy. It's okay.
I might as well pray to the devil now because I just jinxed this whole master-worthy, Jesus-level album right here. Sorry. I'm sorry, sir. My beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy. 10 years old now, coming up. Of all things, Kanye West did it. He did that 10 years ago officially now. A lot has changed since. There's been albums that dropped obviously since.
Yeah.
There's been a different kind of vibe to Ye that's dropped since. The sound, everything too. There's been more controversy. Yeah. More stuff to get upset at him about. More hijinks has occurred since. He's like, I guess if anything, this might have been like the OG Tom and Jerry, and like how he's acting now, what he sounds like now is kind of like the new Tom and Jerry.
The new.
No anvils dropping, no getting hit in the head with frying pans no more. It's like, too safe. What happened?
Yeah.
When did you get neutered, per se? And then there's just the fact that this album was so great. And, we can go through just about everything that's involved with this too, but let's point out one thing first. He did unsuccessfully run for president now in 2020.
Yes.
Way too late. Picked Independence Day to do so, officially say he will. And, of course, he failed. I read, I believe he got like 60,000 votes officially, write-in ballots, which is still surprising and I guess impressive. 60,000 people approximately did that for him or believed enough to do so.
Without an actual campaign.
Without an actual campaign. I think he just dropped like a Twitter video, paid for by Kanye.
He just dropped a Twitter video, which was like, what? It was like he dropped it like last week, and then he did the campaign thing in South Carolina.
Right.
The one that they clowned him for, but he didn't really have a campaign, and he already got like 60,000 votes.
That just alludes to like 2024. Can he actually pull it off, do you think?
He almost got my vote, so it would have been 61,000.
60,001.
Sorry, 60,001. He almost got my vote. I say that if he runs next election and he actually has an actual campaign, and he has policies that he actually wants to implicate, I probably might vote for him. To be honest,
it wouldn't take too much for me to convince me.
Yeah.
I almost did.
He has to have a real campaign.
Yeah.
Has to be on the ballot and has to have policies.
Yep.
And if I agree with his policies and if he has an actual campaign and he's on the ballot, then you know what? Yeah, my vote might be for Kanye West. The only thing that probably will make me not vote for him is if like Michelle Obama runs. Then I was like, oh, sorry, Kanye.
That's going to make you reconsider. Rightfully so. I understand that completely. And I mean, her husband did call Kanye jackass, so it's kind of like he was right at the time to do so. I mean, the way he did the Taylor Swift thing and his behavior was like, he's a jackass. Why not?
The way he said it, too. He's a jackass. So how you want to do this? You want to go song by song, or what do you want to do?
Well, we'll deep dive into the album, mostly how we feel, because, I mean, we could be here all day talking about track after track and all that, too. Yeah. We can allude to each one in its own nature, its space, and such.
All right.
But, most importantly, let's just talk about how we feel about 10 years since, building up to a bigger moment. I mean, listen, you got this album. It's incredible. You did show me, you forwarded me a doc on YouTube about the making of and the process of making this album possible.
Yes.
You and Franny, actually. Shout outs to Franny, of course, as always.
Yes.
Essential to the band named Brenden.
Yes.
Is the band named Brenden, by the way, or is it just Brenden and the Brendens? That'd be hard, right?
Yeah. I think it's just Brenden.
Brenden.
Yeah.
It's just the mood.
Just
big mood.
Just Brenden.
Schmood.
Big schmood. Vibes. Swagoo.
Yeah, I'm feeling Brenden right
Swaggy.
now. Pause.
Swaggy.
Yeah, I could see that going simpatico with each other. Swaggy, Brenden.
Swaggy. Swagoo.
But yeah, you guys pointed out that doc to me on YouTube about the building of the process of the making of this album right here.
Yeah.
Which seems more complicated than what it would allude to, but then the ultimate result would be the sound of overall.
Yeah.
And I was looking back on the album as a whole. I had to listen to it again, besides the fact I probably go back to it every month or so.
Yeah, to be honest, I go back to it, like, I would say on average every 2 weeks.
Wow, that's more than me.
Like about every 2
month.
to 3 weeks, I would just play the album over.
This and Dropout to me are the ones I go to like regularly.
College Dropout?
Yeah.
I probably say that too. And sometimes Graduation. Although I see myself going back to the Life of Pablo as well sometimes, but not like the whole, not like the entire album all the time. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I might go back to certain songs, but this is one of the only albums that I go back to about like on a monthly basis.
Okay.
So it has to be this, Ready to Die, Reasonable Doubt, and To Pimp a Butterfly. Either To Pimp a Butterfly, Good Kid, or Damn, doesn't matter. But like this is one of those albums that I go back to like probably like every 2 weeks, every 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, that sounds completely fair, and
I don't know. It's just it never gets old, and I just feel like I always find something new every time I listen to the album.
That too, I did get that almost every time I listen to it. Something kind of catches you different. Something applies to the mood you're into.
Yeah, and sometimes you might find like another instrument that you didn't hear.
That too.
Like, oh wow, I didn't even know that was in the background, or it's awesome, man. It's just amazing.
And I'm glad you brought up Graduation too as another one you go to regularly. Because for me at least, side note of course, I would too with Graduation, but and otherwise, it's like kind of like a flawless playthrough. No skippers, except for me. Except I don't know how you feel about this one, Drunken Hot Girls. That was a sore thumb to me. It's like a smooth road, freshly paved and all that. Then there's out of nowhere the fucking 20-mile-per-hour school bump in the middle of the road. Like, where'd this come from? This shit.
Yeah.
I mean, beat-wise, it sounds like it could have been something, but I don't know what he was thinking of that with that one. And who was on that one again with him? Mos Def? No. Was it? I think Mos Def is on that, but like unofficially or something.
I think it is. Drunken Hot Girls.
It might be Mos. Because I did feel that way for the longest with Barry Bonds because of Wayne. I'm not a Wayne fan like that.
Me neither, man, to be honest.
The verse does nothing for me, but then like the beat is hard. Kanye talks some shit on it, and then it's like, all right, I'll forgive it. Drunken Hot Girls, I haven't changed my opinion since.
Mos Def.
It's Mos Def, right? Okay, yeah. But that's the only skipper for me on Graduation. Otherwise, it would be up there almost like asterisk number 3 as a go-to. But yeah, back to the point here right now. There's a lot to go back to. There's a lot you get from it each time. And this is, of course, coming from Kanye fans. Been, proverbially, of course, in love with him, pause, since the longest time. Ever since, he's been out or he's been doing his own thing as an individual, because, they try to downplay him initially, as they said, stick to producer, stick to beat making, that's all you're good for, or alluding to, quote unquote, being gay because of how he dresses or acts, mannerisms and such. Pink polo. Yeah. But, he superseded it, obviously. I mean, what sticks out to you from this album the most every time you go back to it? Let's start with that point. What do you get from it initially? Do you do it as a mood changer, get into the vibes, creative space? What do you use it for mostly?
Definitely this song is a go-to to inspire me every time. Like, I can always count on this album to inspire me. And it like, when people say inspire, it doesn't always have to mean like, oh, I'm inspired to, change the world, or inspired to, or even simple as like inspired to make new music. It's not even necessarily sometimes that. And sometimes it is. But when I say I always go back to it to get inspiration, there's a shift that happens after I listen to this album mentally, just creatively. As I'm listening to it, I kind of feel this like overwhelming sense of like overwhelming sense of color. Is the most simplest way to put it. It's
okay.
Like this album is so colorful, in the right ways, that when you listen to it, it's like sonically everything is just right. Like I'm gonna put this album on and I'm gonna paint, or I'm gonna put this album on and I'm gonna like take a long ride in a train station, like if riding a subway or riding Amtrak or whatever the case, or maybe on an airplane or whatever the case may be. Like I'm putting this album on to not just make time go by, but to actually be productive in here while I'm trying to kill time. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but it's awesome. Sonically, it's super colorful.
I get you completely with that.
And there's like, and even to the simplest listener, like you can put this album on, and if you want to hear some rap, you're gonna hear some rap. If you want to hear some just dope kind of like party type of records, you're gonna hear that. You want to play this album while your car windows down just to show off, you can do that. Like there's in the club, you can play there's a song in the club, and there's song in this album for the club. Like it's just everything. Like every single mood, every single region, West Coast, East Coast, South, you got the Midwest type of music or whatever. I don't know what Chicago, like Chi-Town, like Chicago and things like that. Like there's a mood and a region in this album for everybody.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the real magic behind this album. Besides the great writing and the great production and things like that.
Of course. I mean, he did have a whole thing where he flew out people to Hawaii to help him work on the album.
Yeah.
And that was a slew of producers. Pete Rock,
slew of producers, and they had to
Q-Tip.
wear like tuxedos, and like there was a dress code.
Oh right. They were all dressed up for
There was a dress code for that album. Like you had to wear suits and tuxes with ties and bow ties to be in the studio.
Real dapper looking, I guess.
Like real dapper looking. Like there was a dress code. Like it was a real dress code when you stepped into that studio to make that album. Like that's how you know the album was already great from the start. Like it was already set for greatness from the start, because Here you have this artist, and that's like me, right? I'm like, hey, I'm gonna book a couple of days in the studio, and we have to work on this album. But when we work on this album, we need to set the mood. Like we need to, in our eating and the way we dress, and going in the studio and what we do in the studio, not just everything was on purpose. It was a purpose, and everybody that was there to work on the album was there to work on the album, and they were dressed for success so that they can work to success.
Yep.
It was just unheard of, and I'm not saying that like everybody should wear suits and ties when they go to the studio. No, but it's the principle of him setting a standard that everybody had to obey. It doesn't matter who it was. Like it was a standard that was put in place, and in order for you to work in the space, you have to fulfill that standard. It was just it's unheard of. And when you put a standard like that, when you create a standard that everybody has to abide by, you're bound to have you're the product of that work is bound to be great.
Oh, yeah.
It's bound to be successful.
It benefits everybody. Because then they learn to apply that on their own sessions
Yeah.
whenever they start getting creative on their own.
Yeah, be professional.
Mm-hmm.
You know, dress for success, feel good. I would say, like, lately, whenever I'm in a studio now, like even now, like every time I would go to a studio, before, I wouldn't put too much effort in my dressing. Like, I would just be like, yo, you know, I'm gonna just throw this hoodie on. And I love hoodies, don't get me wrong. And I'm gonna wear a hoodie sometimes when I feel like dressing up.
Well, like
hoodies are
IG
dope.
hoes out here with the hoodies.
You know, like
Fanatics.
New York is hoodie, you know? But like, you know, I would say maybe up until earlier this year, every time I go to the studio or go to work on something, I'll just throw whatever on. Like, it doesn't even, I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna just throw this on. I'm just gonna be in the studio all day. I'm just gonna work on music. And then, like, there was a shift that happened this year. This year, 2020.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
So, starting this year, every time I've attended and go to a studio, I want to look my best. I want to actually, like, put on some sneakers that I don't really wear a lot, you know? Like, put on those nice jeans. Like, feel nice, because if you feel good, if you feel nice, and if you feel confident, then that means that when you put your hands or your mind to work, it's gonna be in confidence because you feel good about yourself. And I think that it's all about standard. And I feel like that's something that a lot of artists lack these days, is standard.
Yeah.
Like, set a standard. Don't just pop out to the studio with just anything and bring a bottle of Hennessy and roll up and just have a party in the studio and just not do anything. Like, no, like, you want to go in the studio, you treat it like you do a job. If you're serious about music, if you're serious about this is your career, like, treat it like you would when you go to a job. You're not going to go to a job all high. You're not going to, if you work at a hotel, you're not going to go with sweatpants if you're a hotel concierge. Like, you're not gonna put a hoodie and sweatpants. Like dress according to where you're gonna be. And just because you're in a studio doesn't mean you shouldn't dress up if you feel like dressing up, or you shouldn't wear your best or feel your best. You're in a studio, baby. Like, you making music. You want to be an artist. You want to work on songs. You want to help change the music industry. Then it starts when you get up and you go to the studio. Like, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how niggas show up in the studio. Like if it's party time.
Yeah.
Like, if you want, you could have just stood home with your boys and smoked weed or whatever. Like, but you going to a studio to work on something, even if it's a home studio. Take a shower, put your best on. Wear clothes. Put on your fit, your drip, whatever it is. If your drip is a tux, put on a tux. If your drip is your favorite hoodie or your favorite band tee and your latest Jordans, then put on the drip. Put it on. But, like, when you dress for success and you look good and you feel good, everything you put out is gonna be good. So
yeah, definitely set the vibes. Make sure you set it right.
That's right. Set it right, baby.
Exactly. But I mean, listen. We got the whole album in its entirety. Let's say we can run through the tracks, how we feel immediately. Let's say, like, kind of word association. I named the track, you say how you feel, anything that sticks out kind of thing. We'll do it that way.
All right.
All right, so we'll start off with, of course, the first track. There's Dark Fantasy, the intro.
Okay.
Where the build-up with Nicki Minaj, shout out to her, by the way, had a baby, got married, all that since. Doing her breast. Well, she got some nice breast, but her best British accent. I mean, am I right? I mean, listen, she got that whole thing behind her too. Her very, and I mean, she only benefited from having a baby. That baby is lucky.
The whole continent.
Oh, yeah. It's like she smuggled Africa behind her or something. We're getting out of here some way, somehow. I got you. Oh, but wait, she's West Indian or something, right? Or where's she from?
I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Yeah, let's not trigger them.
She's Jamaican, West Indian.
Not the Nicki Hive.
She's not. She's not Jamaican.
What do they call, like, the Minajanites
I
or
was
something?
thinking of Biggie. Biggie's Jamaican. Let me see.
Nicki is, I think, No.
Trinidad or something. Let me see. Yeah, she's Trinidadian. Yeah, she's Trinidadian.
Okay, I was going to say Trini, so thank God.
Yeah,
I was
she's
going to be
Trini.
right.
Definitely Trini.
Well, that helps. I mean, she does come up later in the album, of course, but then there's that introductory track. So,
Yes.
how'd you like Nicki doing her thing, her best British accent, and then Ye going into his, 2 verses, I think?
Yeah.
How'd you feel about that track?
That track. That track was like, when you're a kid and you always wanted to see the you go to the movies and you see the Disney movie you've always wanted to see, and you just see that intro.
Mm-hmm. The animation building up the logo.
That's definitely the vibes that I get listening to Dark Fantasy. Between the choir that he introduces, the bass line that he introduces on the second verse that he spits, it's just magic. It's magic. It's like you put that on and it's like, oh wow, all right, okay, buckle up. This is the vibes. Man. This is the vibes we talking about. Yeah, awesome.
Keep your glizzy at home. Don't get too excited. Not this trip. We're taking things serious.
OD.
But he did also give us that one bar, you ain't got no yeezy in your Serato.
Yeah.
Which people are taking and ran with it.
You ain't got no Yeezy, nigga?
Yeah, and I mean, everybody's been trying to use that ever since for their own stuff, too.
Yeah.
Popular lingo, I guess you could say.
He definitely invented that line.
I think that was Amber Rose that said it, right? On the album? That was her that he
Was
used.
it?
I think so. It might be her. I'm pretty sure it's her because they were still together at the time.
Even better. Yeah, I think they were together. Even better.
I mean, listen, I'm a fan of hers visually, of course. I don't know what she does as far as substance or contributing to society. No offense to her. She's a mother and all that, too.
Yeah.
Shout out to her baby, I guess. But I love the energy of her delivering that line. You ain't got no fucking Yeezy in your Serato.
Yeah.
And, of course, the word I'm not going to say because I'm not that color, but added to it. She's half black and white, right? Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she's black and white.
Yeah, so she can go ahead and say that. And it sounds sexy coming out of her.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you got Nicki building up the intro of the intro, too, as well. So it's like a menage a ass.
Yeah.
Yeezy loves the ass. Of course, we know now with his wife, which we'll get to later on as well, too. But that's dark fantasy. That's a pretty good dark fantasy right there, actually. A way to set things off. And then from there, it goes to gorgeous. It's got Kid Cudi on the hook. Underused. I was kind of sad at that at first, but then appropriately enough used. Why not? He was there at least, present, check mark. But then there's also the god Raekwon, the OG, on there as well
the
with
chef.
Raekwon the chef.
Raekwon the chef, baby.
I wasn't crazy initially about the beat because it was so simplistic and kind of low-key, lo-fi, however you want to dub it now. But going back to it as many times as we have, I think it works. It alludes to, Ye putting the filter some sorts on his vocals. I guess to make it sound like he's on the phone or something, like an intercom or something like that. But then the same applies to Ray, which I always been a fan of Raekwon. But the thing that always threw me off about him is that Cuban Links is a classic. There's no question there.
Yes.
But he is the king. He's like the god of lingo, of street slang so much where I have no idea what he's been saying since 1993. If it makes any sense to anybody outside of him and his immediate clique of confidants and, Capadanas and whatever and all that. But it always sounds so cool. It's like he could be making up alien talk right now. I have no idea who can validate this at all, but it just sounds cool. We'll run with it.
He's the man. That track gives me that to me that's one of his most powerful tracks on that album. It's just very powerful, especially like from that track gave me my favorite line of Kanye. He says, I treat I treat the cash the way the government treats AIDS. I won't be satisfied till all my niggas get it. Like that's my favorite line of Kanye's whole career. Like it was just so it was a swag line where it was a hard swag line, but at the same time, like he just it was so conscious. Like it was so conscious and like, whoa, like You said that, and the way you said it was like, yo, come on. I treat the cash the way the government treat AIDS. Like, the way he said it, I was like, oh, he said it with the way, like, too cool for school. And he put you, and he took you to school with that line.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was like Jay-Z level right there.
Yeah.
Like, that was oh, like, wow. Like, yeah, that's it's awesome. It was awesome. And also Raekwon's verses. That's one of my favorite verses from Raekwon in recent years, I would say. Like, you know, around that time, because he stopped making music for a little while.
That too. He's taking a long, extended break here and there.
It was cool to hear that verse from Raekwon. It was dope.
And it's good to hear, too, that, I think, was it Ghost and Ray on Cruel Summer, I think, on New God Flow? Or was it just Ghost?
Ghostface Killer is on New God Flow, I believe.
Was it him and Ray or just Ghost?
Nah, it was just Ghost.
It was just Ghost. Okay.
It was just Ghost. It was Ghostface, he's also my favorite as well.
Ghost is up there for me too. Top 10.
Ghostface, Raekwon, and Method Man are my favorite Wu-Tang members.
Method Man is underrated.
OD.
Just because he was a more popular, more kind of hype one of all of them, outside of ODB, rest in peace, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But he's not to be slept on.
He's not at all. Like, not one bit. He's super underrated.
Yeah.
Super underrated.
I mean, even to be like so catchy amongst the whole Wu-Tang clan.
Yeah.
It still be that nice low key. Like when you really sit down and listen, like you're not writing that easily.
Yeah.
You're not coming up with that just out of your ass.
No, it's not.
Yeah, but shout out to Meth though.
OD.
Next one would be Power, which is the lead single, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, there was a remix with Swizz, which I was actually pleasantly surprised with, especially the sample at the ending half of it, which I forget, what was it? Power, I think Snap, the thing is called. They looped that and made that, like, that's the first time Swizz made a beat. I was like, okay, Swizz, you did too much with this one. This is but too much good.
Yeah,
like whoa.
Power is, Power is what it is. It's the lead single. It's what gave people that anticipation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh wow, like Power's awesome, and the music video is phenomenal.
That too.
Yeah.
What was it? Just like, I think one single shot just panning out the whole time.
It's like it's like a painting, like a Renaissance. It was basically like a Renaissance painting. It was that's probably one of like the best videos I've ever seen as far as I creatively.
And I love the fact that I think he did it everywhere, or almost everywhere he could, as far as like demanding his set, his props, everything he wanted for every time he did the live performance of, especially on SNL. He killed that one too.
Question, but was Power the lead single, or what? Wasn't it the next song that comes after?
Oh, The Lights?
Yeah.
I think Power was an official single.
Yeah? Okay.
I believe so.
Okay.
All of The Lights should have been, but because it was like, you know, I really liked it too a lot.
Yeah.
But I think Power was officially the single.
Which brings us to the next.
And by the way, which has been overused in the NBA too much, Power. You know, we get it.
Yeah, we get it.
Like, yeah, you can grip a ball in one hand. We get it. Great big hands. Ooh, you're not doing anything for people grabbing a glizzy easily. Your own or someone else's paws. Oh, two glizzies at once. Wow.
Oh,
impressive. But All the Lights. There's so much to read about this too, because I believe it was initially called Ghetto University. It had Drake on it originally.
Oh, it did?
I believe so. Same beat. Drake was on it some way, somehow. I don't think I ever heard that version, but I know it used to be Ghetto University.
I don't care
like,
to hear it.
Come on, Brenden. I'm here for you, brother.
Why you sound like Hulk Hogan?
Damn it, I'm trying. But yeah, I can't emphasize those vibes. I'm not a weak man like that. Weak's man's or whatever he does.
Now, All of the Lights is the word that pops out to me is club.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a club record. Like, everyone, like, it doesn't, like, I laugh because, like, you be in a club, you be in a night in a lounge or whatever the case may be, and people are playing you playing the Bad Bunny or the Mita, and like you got girls shaking ass.
Yeah.
But the minute all of the lights come on, everybody stops shaking their ass. Like, all the niggas stop doing the bullshit that they doing, and everybody's like, All of the lights. Dun, 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 dun. That's just like, that's like one of those hip hop songs where like everybody's like, it catches your attention.
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah.
like Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill.
Mm-hmm,
That's one of those club records that like catch your attention.
Yeah.
And that's definitely what I had to say about All of the Lights. It's amazing. I mean, this it's just awesome, bro. And what I do love about it is that he did what Michael Jackson did on all of the We Are the World with all the people.
I read about that too, and
Those voices. It was like 15 voices.
15. Okay.
It was like it was like probably maybe more. I don't know. It was like Rihanna. It was Elton John. It was Kid Cudi. It was the girl that's featured on it.
Yeah.
It was just mad people like singing together like Michael Jackson, and that's what he wanted. Like that's what he wanted, that like that We Are the World type of feeling.
Well, I think if Michael, rest in peace, would have been alive to hear that going on, I think it would have peed his pants, because that would have been like extra unnecessarily hype. We Are the World.
Yeah.
Whoop whoop whoop. Like, Kanye, calm down, please.
If he was alive, I think Kanye would probably try to get him for the song.
I think so. But would he have done it? Would he have co-signed that? Would have he actually jumped at the chance of doing it with Kanye?
I would like to believe he did, but then again, I'm not sure. I would definitely like to believe Prince would do it too.
I think Prince would probably. No, I think because of how much of a purist, rest in peace, of course, Prince was.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Prince is definitely a purist.
I think he would have had an easier chance with Michael.
He probably
because they would have related on like, I see the sound, I can kind of hear it in my head, in my heart, my feet, whatever.
Yeah.
Prince would have been like, fuck out of here.
Yeah. And then Kanye would have to be like, I'll let you play bass. And Prince would be like, okay.
You mean not even the one thing you can play at all yourself, besides play yourself? Yeah, you're something. He probably would have gotten on his ass like, purple's more manly than pink. Idiot.
Right?
Yeah. Fool. Yeah, but that's All the Lights. All the Lights probably had who knows how many people on it too. Because I thought the girl you were speaking of first was Fergie.
No, it was somebody else. I don't know.
It is somebody else, but it sounded like Fergie.
No shade, but it's like some like random person that nobody really knows anymore. No shade at all.
It's TBD.
Yeah.
Still up in the air. 10 years later.
Even after Power, it was the interlude of All of the Lights.
Right, the interlude, and then
that was beautiful. And then it went into All of the Lights, which was awesome.
Exactly. And then you got, of course, the probably more famous one because of the features and everybody saying, well, he got her, she got all them in line and order. Well, Monster, which I love.
That wasn't the lead single either?
That was a single after Power, I believe.
That was?
Yeah.
All I know is that Monster, to me, has got to be one of the most iconic hip-hop songs of all time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It was diabolical. Mm-hmm. Like in all the right ways. Like, you kidding me? Like, you got Jay, you got Rick Ross to lay like a intro, which was just enough. A lot of people, I would like to like clarify that too. Like, a lot of people clowned Rick Ross for only having like 8 bars.
Yeah.
But that's all that was needed for the song. Like a lot of people like to say like just because you had the least amount of bars doesn't mean you weren't as powerful. Mm-hmm. But sometimes the song just doesn't call for you to spit a 16 or 32 bar verse. Like sometimes it calls for Rick Ross to do it 8 bars and Nicki Minaj to go
be the star.
Freaking 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Before she even had an album out. And it's just diabolical. It was diabolical, and it broke so many rules, at that time.
Right. So many standards of what you think, what to expect on a posse cut, I guess. You could say.
it just broke so many rules on like a single or like a song in itself. Like it was awesome. It was awesome.
Now, do you give in to the, I guess, popular opinion that Nicki owned everybody on that track?
To be honest, yeah.
it wasn't for me a memorable J verse because he had the whole thing with ghouls, goblins, and like kind of not.
That wasn't a memorable J verse to me at all. I think Nicki Minaj and Kanye definitely were the stars of that song because Kanye killed that.
I love the sarcophagus line.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking that.
I had to look at it up immediately and then like, oh, that's hard.
He killed it.
Yeah.
Like Nicki Minaj definitely did own everybody on the track. I would say, in my opinion, I think I would say that.
But I can swear on everything I remember reading and hearing somewhere. It might have been like in XXL or something that they all contributed to Nicki's verse in their own way. But that kind of got. People were trying to downplay it a lot because they were saying, oh, they're trying to minimize Nicki's killing the verse and everything too, alluding to, oh, she don't need no man writing her verse for her. Mm-hmm. But I think I read something like they just gave her like words and some lines that like kind of tweak to kind of like put together her verse as a whole.
I think I read that too. It wasn't like a but I don't think it was like someone literally like wrote for her. Like it wasn't like no ghostwriting or something like that. I think it was just it was probably one of those things where it's like, yo, like she comes through, be like, yo, I got a verse. She'll spit it, and then maybe Jay or Kanye be like, oh, you know what? Change that line, make this word this, or change that line or that, and they collectively helped her edit it.
Yeah.
And she was able to deliver it. I do know that when Nicki Minaj recorded it. I think it was the first time she recorded it or something like that. She did the weird voice that she did.
Right.
And then she's like, nah, I want to record it again. And Kanye said, are you crazy? Nah, I love that. Leave that. And she wasn't going to leave it. She didn't like the weird voice she put. And Kanye loved it. And then he convinced her to
stick with that.
Leave it on the verse. Yeah.
Because that's funny enough. I think he'd have an ear and eye for that too. Yeah. Like, if it's that one take that gets it just right, just leave it as is.
He would be that one person and be like, oh, nah, this is lit. Keep that.
Yeah. I mean, he had the balls to tell Jamie Foxx to do the same thing, right? Like, do your verse over, give me another one better.
That's right.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'd say Nicki easily owned. But I'd also say that, yeah, it was kind of more like free ball and kind of tossing word association around to help her fine-tune it.
Yeah.
Not so much anybody gave her lines or wrote anything. Like, she did that on her own, just... She had gods helping her out pretty much.
Basically.
Pretty much.
Oh, because you talk about pussy or whatever. You shut the fuck up. I could talk about pussy. I could talk about the moon, the sky, every motherfucking thing under this fucking moon and wrap circles around bitches' heads. I don't give a fuck.
You go from Monster to So Appalled, which I loved a lot because he gave us that, if I remember correctly, I think T.I. had a show somewhere. I forget where exactly, but then he randomly brought out Kanye, and that's back when in 2010 when like, you know, cameras could do the job phones could do the job of a camera, but like really grainy video.
Yeah.
And he did unofficially debut the bare bones beat of this track at that show. And it sounded so good to me, muffled and kind of like distorted and unmixed and everything too. When I got the album version, it was a little different. It had different touches to it too. The RZA helped out, I believe.
Yeah, he definitely did.
And the sample was like kind of fine-tuned per se.
It was that was like a rapper's track.
Yeah. That was meant for that showcase properly.
That was, that was one of the best cypher songs, like songs on albums that I've heard in a while. Like, It was phenomenal. Yeah, and Pusha was on it. Does his thing as usual. Prince, Jay-Z, Kanye, RZA. Who else am I missing?
I think that was it.
I'm missing the Swizz.
Well, yeah, he was in and out with one hand in the air. If you don't really care.
2 hands in the air. You don't really care.
3 hands in the air. Because then, you know, someone's going to get offended when I got a third arm. What about me? I was a conjoined twin. They cut the other half off. And I kept the arm in the separation. But I like that track a lot, too, because that was the official intro, I guess, to Cyhi.
Yeah, it was.
The Prince.
Yeah, it was.
And his story, how he even got on that track was funny about, like, he just recorded his verse over it. I think Jay or Beyonce overheard it and said, just keep that anyway.
Yeah,
It was so good.
Beyonce was like, "Oh, you should sign that kid."
Yeah. That's how she said it. I mean, if Beyonce says it, are you going to really argue? And a pleasant touch, because I'm a fan of Wu-Tang, as I'm sure you are too, and RZA as well. I like that he makes it known that he helped out in some way, shape, or form, and probably said, if I'm going to be on this track, it's got to be known that I'm here too at the end.
Champagne wishes and dirty white bitches. Man, this shit is
fucking
ridiculous. Man, this shit is fucking ridiculous.
First for the mistress and cars for the missus.
Yeah.
You know the shit is fucking ridiculous. Because it always throws me right back to American Gangster, where he's the guy, one of the detectives, whatever. Of course, the Riz is going to be a cop, a narc of all things. That seems justifiable. But he's like, this is the most potent product on the street, or whatever he said.
That's
like
funny.
in the most RZA-ish manner possible.
Bro, RZA-ish. That just tells you so much. Just saying, yo, that's mad RZA-ish. That just says so much.
And I mean, listen, you could say he's got like a super New York accent, but then there's something else going on there too. Like,
It's something else.
He might have just been on the glizzy too hard.
Yeah.
Hot dog. He bought it from the cart, like, a block away too far from him. It was extra hot when he bit into his, fucking with the coolest. Might have bit his tongue with it too.
Fucking ridiculous.
But yeah, that's I'm always a fan of Riz in that sense. Just hearing him talk makes me happy.
Yeah,
it brings a smile to my face because I'm a dummy. I laugh at dumb things like that.
Me too.
But that's all Appalled. Anything else you want to add to that one?
No, nothing else.
Yeah, it's still a classic. Running down the line still, of course. Then we go into Devil in a New Dress, which is what was his name? I think S1 or the producer of it. I forget his name. Exactly, but he did that for Kanye. Kanye oversaw, I think, that beat, and there was that's when he was doing the Good Friday drops. Remember?
Yes.
And the rough unmixed version of it dropped. It still sounded great. I loved it.
That sample.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, the whole theme, what he's saying too. I guess it was an asshole. I guess it's rubbing off. Yeah. No, I thought it was an asshole. I guess it's rubbing off or whatever. And just building to that whole, every relationship has that stage, Be it new girl, be it the ongoing girl, the one you're ideally going to commit to for life and such. You get that whole messiness going on, that drama unnecessarily that goes hand in hand with being in a relationship.
Yeah.
Of course, throwing things around, the whole place screwed up, and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. The pleasant surprise for me was, and this is big for me too, because when the album dropped, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Rick Ross is on at the very end with the guitar added to the beat, him building up to it.
Which the guitar, I think, is Mike Dean.
Mike Dean on the guitar.
Mike Dean is the man that oversees a lot of the sonic things that goes around in Kanye's things.
Which, thank God for him, because he added. It would have been fine with Ross alone on the bare bones beat, but then with the guitar too, it just adds to the soul of it.
Yeah, that guitar just
made you feel it.
Yeah, it took it there.
And it was big for me because that's the track that the verse, Betty had said, that made me a Rick Ross fan.
Yeah.
Because up until then, I was so sold, and I think all he did really was the pushing it, kind of rapping, whatever, hustling, all that stuff too, which I wasn't a fan of. It seemed too simplistic.
Yeah.
And I never believed anyone when they said, "Oh, well, he wrote for this one, he wrote for that one from way back when," and all. It's like, Rick Ross hustling did that? Not him. He didn't do any of that. He barely writes out the check when he's paying the tab at the restaurant or whatever, or fresh off ordering some wings or whatever. But then that maybe reconsider and take Ross seriously. That whole verse.
I agree.
He killed that, as they say. They killed it.
Yeah.
But that's Devil in a New Dress. I mean, Runaway 2 was
iconic.
Iconic, yeah. When it released, the video, the visuals to it, the sound itself,
iconic. It's just, it's yeah.
Could you, as you being an artist yourself, would you even throw it out there as that's possibly the best track in the genre of hip hop?
Or
one of them. Because it's kind of got all the elements there you need.
Yeah, I would say it's like, I would say it's top tier of like hip hop, like royalty when it comes to songs. It's definitely top tier. It's I probably would say that. I would say that, to be honest.
Because it could, I don't know about necessarily on a pop station, but it can kind of at least go to like CD Jazz 101 or something, or transcend that.
The most beautiful thing about that song to me is that like that long outro.
Yeah?
Is it a long outro?
Yeah. He adds on like 4 minutes to it.
Bro, it's just, I don't know. I can listen to it. I could just listen to it all day. Like that's just one of those songs. It's just, I could just listen to the beat all day. If you know, like obviously I want the verses, but like even if like you're gonna add like a 5-minute outro or whatever the case, 3 minutes. It was like 3 minutes. Like I'll take it. It was great.
Yeah, because it went from 3-something minutes to like 9 minutes on the album.
Yeah, the album version is like 8 to 9 minutes. Definitely, it's like a Justin Timberlake single.
Yeah, pretty much. JT on the track. But I remember still when it debuted officially at the VMAs itself, and I still remember being mad at my immediate group of friends who I watched it with randomly on my birthday, by the way, 10 years ago when I was 25. I remember 25, but you know, at this age, 35, I'm surprised I remember how to get to a studio properly and remember Brooklyn, the difference between Brooklyn and Queens, unlike stupid me today. But I remember, too, being upset with my friends when they didn't recognize or even know who Pusha T was when he came out in his salmon suit. Yeah, no clue. And these are like people I trust to know their hip-hop somewhat, my closest group of friends, who I can kind of confine, like, yeah, we know RZA, we know Jizza, we know this, that, the other. But then, like, head-scratching that, like, wait, who's this guy when he comes out? And, of course, thank God he bars him to death, so they're like, oh, I'm going to check him out. It's like, he's been out. But like the last decade.
I don't get that.
Grinding. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I'm like, crickets. And they swear up and down they're like fans, their heads like that, but then they don't know Pusha. The standout part of the half of the clips. No disrespect and no malice, of course, but I'm saying, who doesn't respect Pusha's pen?
If you don't know Pusha, how can you know hip hop?
There's no way. That's why I was offended. I was so appalled, like the track. But yeah, I mean, it bothered me that they didn't know.
Wow.
But
it bothers me.
I'm glad it does because, you know, of course, I respect Pusha's pen. You respect Pusha's pen.
T.
I don't want to get dissed by Pusha ever.
No.
I'll never speak foul to him.
No.
He's got a nice head of hair still at this age. Back when, too. Nice solid braids. Pink salmon suit. I think the only other convincing...
Nobody wants smoke with Pusha T.
The only other person I never want smoke with. Yeah. You know by who.
It's been proven. With who. It's been proven.
One of your low-key favorites. He proved it.
It's been proven.
The only other guy in a pink salmon suit I never want that smoke with is Mark Henry when he pretended to retire on Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
That scared the shit out of me.
Oh, fun fact. Did you know Pusha T wrote the McDonald's jingle? I'm loving it.
I keep hearing that.
And
yeah.
Arby's.
And Arby's.
He owns 40% of it, of Arby's. He doesn't own royalties in McDonald's, which he admits is his mistake.
I don't think McDonald's would have let him either. They kind of
cut like I forgot what the check was, but they cut a check but they didn't give him he didn't get royalties for it, unfortunately.
Which always seems, I'm sure you know as an artist, which always seems nice to get that little check in advance or something. But then
royalties is what matters.
Right, that keeps you alive.
Yeah, definitely what matters. Arby's, he's got 40% of it, so he makes if he never made a rap song again,
he's still good.
Yeah.
And then Arby's, I think now just bought out. I think Dunkin' Donuts and Baskin Robbins.
Yes, that's crazy.
Do you realize how fat we're gonna get now,
bro?
Because of Arby's,
bro.
They're gonna show us no mercy now. We got the meats and the sweets.
The meats and the sweets.
Yeah.
We have the meats and the sweets.
And sweets.
We have the meats
And sweets. They get the little guy from the Dr. Pepper commercial.
and the sweets.
What's his name?
What?
They're gonna get the little guy from the Dr. Pepper commercial. The too sweet.
No,
The little redhead guy. I forget his name, but like
I never seen the Dr. Pepper commercial.
yeah, the Diet Dr. Pepper commercial is like the little white guy with red hair.
I never seen that one.
Look it up. It's like you'll understand afterwards. But yeah,
Sweets.
yeah, he just harmonizes, hits the notes high, and all that.
Oh man.
You know, diet soda makes him do that. But okay, we get that diabetic stroke probably. But yeah, that's Runaway. I mean, in a nutshell, it's long on the album. It was short up front. Makes you think, okay, it's like a really short guy with an extra long dick or something like that for a girl. Convenient for her. It's like, I'm going to commit to him just, even though he's tiny. I tower over him without heels on. It's like, oh, whoa, look at that thing right there. Damn. Kind of like, I don't know. It's a whole thing. I don't know. Kind of like that vibe.
They're packed in there, dude. Look at that.
Hidden potential, I like to call it, pretty much.
Oh man.
But yeah, Runaway was great. I think, yeah, we can definitely close that chapter saying, like, probably one of the more perfect hip-hop songs.
Yeah.
All elements included.
Yeah, perfect.
Covers all bases.
Perfect.
And then you go into Hell of a Life.
Yes.
Which I believe I read samples a portion of Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, some element of it.
Okay.
I don't remember offhand which track. I think I might have read that right. I hope. But hard. And also delivers the very pleasant, alluding to his immediate future bar, one day I'm going to marry a porn star.
Yep.
Which unofficially Kim is, clap it up. That's an ass.
Dreams come true.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, unofficially, she is a porn star. That
Yeah.
is where she got her fame.
Yeah.
No shame in that. I mean, come on, look at her. You're really going to shame her?
Yeah.
How dare you, first off. And are you straight, if you do? Go for it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, looking at that ass.
Packed in there, dude. Look at that.
Is there a bit of garments? Is there a piece of underwear that doesn't turn into a thong when she throws it on? Or a G-string? Or dental floss? Come on. That thing is eating it all up. All the fabrics. Fruit of Loom, Garland, whatever, neighbor brand, they can't make enough.
Her brand Skims. Her own brand Skims.
There's not a brand that can handle all that ass.
Oh, man.
And Kanye's living it up with that ass. Proof is in how many children he's had. Is he stopping? No, he's not. Absolutely. Lovely children, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful family.
Definitely. But Hell of a Life, hard track. I think that would be good for a club, too. I think that'd be good if, like, when I get my car up and running, I get a new system in it, I can probably use that as a first track to go to test the bass, as they say.
Yeah, yeah.
And then if you remember the film that went with the album.
Yes, I do.
Which I love how it looks visually.
You talking about the 40-minute film?
Mm-hmm.
The Runaway
with,
movie?
With Selena E. Banks as the angel hawk girl, whatever.
Yeah.
I love how it's used in the film because it exposes how insane she feels because of how she's a bird, she's a girl, what's going on down there. Is it, is there a hidden talent instead of a pussy? I don't know. Maybe he hurt himself trying to find out too. But, there's that whole, it's painted out beautifully. Otherwise, the film itself is like, sorry, no.
Okay.
It looks great. It's just no substance to it. And kind of like, it's definitely directed by Kanye. He'll own up to that. He has to.
Most definitely.
But hard track, I like it. I go back to it.
Me too.
Helps me with a workout or two.
Oh yeah, me too.
I go for it. How do you feel about that?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like the track.
And I mean, he told his own future. I think he kind of knew already.
Probably did.
Yeah, why not?
Probably did.
Which is good.
I think I heard a story about one of the other tracks.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot which one it is.
We're probably coming up to it because right after Hell of a Life, we got Blame Game. Featuring Chris Rock, of all people.
Bro.
And I believe Amber Rose. I think she's the girl at the very end.
I think so, too, yes. Bro, Blame Game. That.
Oh, and John Legend. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. Let's not forget that part, too. I'll call you bitch for short. You call me motherfucker for long.
Bro, Blame Game is... Damn, man. It's... I remember. So Blame Game to me was like the gift that kept on giving. Like, right? Like, you hear the beat first. It's awesome. The drum loop is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Then you hear John Legend, Voice of an Angel.
Mm-hmm.
Then Kanye. Then, not only does Kanye is rapping, but if you're listening to it with one earphone, you're not going to get the rest of the song.
Yeah.
Because he pans with both ears.
Which was genius.
Which was another gift that kept on giving. Then you got the low pitch and the different effects in the song, another gift. Then the song was conceptual. It was substance, another gift.
Yep.
Christmas keeps on giving. What was that? The 7th day of Christmas I'm already up to?
Yeah.
Then you get to the outro and you hear Chris Rock. And I lost it. I was like, yo, bro, this is probably going to go down in history as one of the most underrated hip-hop tracks of all time.
Absolutely.
Like, it's just, it's the gift that kept on giving that song.
Absolutely.
Effects, bars, concept, a beautiful voice with the chorus. Then you got a funny-ass outro.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome.
Which still hits, by the way, because I wasn't a fan of the skits, as I may have mentioned, on College Dropout, because it didn't age well, to me at least.
To me, I agree. It didn't age well. It didn't age well.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Chris Rock, I was laughing because he did that with Chris Rock.
Yeah.
It opened up a whole new world for Chris Rock.
Yeah.
So he's also hosting Busta Rhymes' new album that just came out.
Right.
Chris Rock is all up in it. Chris Rock is all up in that album. So
I thought it was just for the commercials, the promo and stuff.
No, he's
actually
all up in the album.
Okay.
Like that. Just kind of like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
okay.
It's awesome.
Which is actually good because this is after the fact that Chris worked with Prince Paul from De La Soul fame.
Yes.
And he put him on, too, as far as like helping him with, I think it was the Bigger and Blacker album.
Chris Rock probably has like a forever job when it comes to like this stuff.
Yeah.
And he also mentioned that Kanye West is probably like one of the best people he's ever worked with as far as work ethic.
And I think he might have said this is one of the greatest albums regardless.
Yeah.
Regardless of time errors or whatever, too.
Yeah, regardless, like one of the greatest albums of all time, correct.
Which, by the way, this album was also, I forget what spot originally on the top 500 albums according to Rolling Stone.
Oh, I think it was number 19 or 17.
Was that the updated number or the original number?
Oh, they had an updated number?
Yeah, because they did one earlier this year, an updated version of the list. With this one, I think, going higher than it was originally.
Oh, no, I didn't see it.
And I think they added one or two more Kanye albums to it as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But it got praise. Like, even like other friends.
20, top 20 of all time. And top 20 of all time, dude, you're talking about, like, every genre, too.
Oh, yeah, every genre.
So that's a huge accomplishment.
It is.
A huge accomplishment. No doubt. Yeah.
Well deserved too.
Well deserved.
Overall, really good album, and of course, Blame Game 2, as you said and alluded to. Of course, Chris Rock is hilarious on it as well, and I'm really mad that never got a video at least, or that could have been at least an easy 10-minute short film.
Oh my God!
Let Kanye direct it if he has to, if he insists on it, but still.
Oh my God! With the bezel.
Twister had this on in the sauce.
Twister had this shit in the sauce. That's right. That's right.
I'm gonna shoot a bootlegger.
Yeah. Man, babe, thank you, man. Kanye, I gotta thank you. I gotta shoot a bootlegger. Well. Yeezy taught you well. Yeezy taught you well. Oh my God! Oh my God! It's just disgusting.
I never been to this part of Pussy Town before.
Some parts I ain't never seen before. I ain't never seen this part of Pussy Town before. Oh man.
Yeah, but that's the Blame Game though. It's hard to hate that track at all. Or to even leave it off if you talk about the sound, period.
It is.
Which will come into a closing almost of the album itself. After that, we got Lost in the World.
Yeah.
Which is, the drums are heavy. That helps alluding to the madness he's been through already. and to kind of build a climax to, well, now here we're at the end now. I went through all these stages, and now I just come to the conclusion that I'm lost in this world, pretty much. That's what I got, at least for me.
Yeah.
Like, coming to the end, like, end of the world, pretty much, like how, you know, conspiracy theories allude to and all that stuff. But internally, emotionally, I think that's where he felt he was at after going through all these stages and phases with the whole album build up.
Yeah.
I think that was like kind of, it actually reminded me a lot of, speaking of DeadAss, funny enough, you know, DeadAss like Tony, your next single coming out too. Don't you think, having seen the film so many times, Scarface, I mean, of course, all these kind of build up to how Tony lives out his life too, in different stages? Because, like, dark fantasy, of course, I want to live the life of a drug kingpin, you know, do my thing and all that too. Life ends up being gorgeous. It's all about the power, the pussy, the women, the money, all that stuff. All the lights, how shiny, pizzazzy life becomes when he gets the mansion, the tiger, you know, Elvie.
Then I turn into a monster.
Turn into a monster. You're so appalled by how people think you're not going to be a monster, or how you're living, and thinking people can point their fat fingers at the bad guy instead of you're the bad guy. Devil in a New Dress, Elvie. What was she doing?
That's right.
Nothing but, you know, rise and shine.
That's right.
Go to sleep.
That's
and all
right.
that. Runaway. She runs away too. She had enough of him, funny enough.
Had enough, yup.
And then he's trying to run away from all people. Manny shoots him dead. His boy. All that. His sister on top of that. Towards that too. Hell of a life. Realizes he's hit the pinnacle after dealing with Sosa. Fucking up with Sosa. Killing the guy in the car. Shooting his brains out and all that. Alberto, I think his name was. No. Sosa. I forget. Names is never my strong point. But, blame game. Who was he going to blame but the bad guy?
Yeah.
Confirmed at the end. Lost in his world. At the restaurant, when Elvie finally does leave, he realizes what he's done. When he's at the climax with everybody trying to shoot him up, turn him into Swiss cheese, and then who will survive? You're already, you know, dead and certified. And of course, you got the shotgun to the back, blowing you out like that. And like taking massive back shots from like Lexington Steel, close enough, something like that. And then you're dead, pretty much.
That's the most insightful thing I've ever heard.
I mean, I probably like you, I've seen that movie too much, but I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, me neither.
I wouldn't say it's the greatest piece of cinema ever, but I love that movie. Yeah. Just everything it encapsulates.
Yeah.
It's Al Pacino's a cheat code anyway. They're making a great film.
OD.
And if the script is good, the story's good, it all makes sense. It just helps him get out there further and deliver what he's got to deliver.
That's right.
But, I mean, yeah, who will survive? I forget the poet, and I feel so dumb for, like, not remembering his name, the poet that did the spoken word piece that he sampled at the end. Gilbert Heron something. Gil Scott Heron, I think the name is, or something like that. But, shit. God. I think it's Gil Scott Heron. Like the bird. Is that a bird? No. That's a stork. I'm thinking.
Who will survive in America? Gil Scott Heron.
Oh, okay. Thank God I did get it
Survive
right.
in America.
Remembering the name for once. Thank God. Oh, but yeah, it's a very deep piece, you know, talking about pretty much America being hoarded out, you know, depriving it of its riches and natural resources, of course, too culturally applicable as well. And, of course, Kanye's ascent to the madness, I believe, at the very end of the album, too.
That's right.
Emotionally, internally, as I alluded to, you know, maybe crazy enough, it might have to do with Scarface. I think, low-key, Kanye would definitely be a Scarface fan.
Definitely. For sure.
Yeah?
For sure. For sure, because, I don't know, it's just, his personality is just so like Scarface.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's definitely a Scarface fan. I'm jacking that. We got to tweet him now.
Yeah.
Like we were talking, and we think you're a Scarface fan.
Yeah, definitely. That's confirmed. That's a given. Imagine him. I think the ultimate thing to do beyond, let's say, Chris Rock or whoever else big, unexpected you get on a track or an album, I think the biggest thing Kanye could do was probably get like Al Pacino to do like something random spoken on an album. Imagine how hard that would be.
Like a monologue?
A monologue,
like
whatever.
A theatrical monologue that Al Pacino, can do. Because Al Pacino, I think, is a theater. He's a theater. He almost has an EGOT, right? He almost has an EGOT, right?
I think so.
I think he's only missing one.
Maybe the Tony? Because he's
No, I
got
think
an
he
Emmy
has
for
a
Angels in
Tony.
America.
He has a Tony.
He has a Tony. Okay.
He has
So
a
maybe not an
Tony.
Emmy.
I think he has a Tony. I think he has an Oscar.
An Oscar, yeah. He did get that for Scent of a Woman, I want to say. Or was it... Yeah, I think Scent of a Woman.
I think he doesn't have a Grammy. That's what it is.
Oh, well, there you go.
I think he doesn't have
I mean, people got EGOTs before him. That's a crime.
If Al Pacino is on a Kanye album, Grammy.
Grammy.
EGOT.
EGOT. Kanye.
Does Chris Rock have a Grammy then?
He does, I think, actually, for
'cause of
Bigger and
that.
Blacker. It might have been for that. I think he might have had one already for Bigger and Blacker, and I think Prince Paul gave him one too.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
Chris Rock might have one before Al Pacino.
Wow.
We can't let this man drop dead without getting the EGOT.
And he's 80 years old.
I mean, he's creeping up there, right?
He's 80 years
Oh,
old.
yeah, he is
bro.
80. You're right.
He's 80 years old.
That'd be a crime.
It's going to be a sad day when he leaves this earth.
I'll cry to sleep and probably join him.
It'll be terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I hate to think about it.
Yeah. Let's not think the bad, though. Let's just think, put it out there in the vibes of the universe. Kanye, start the work with Pacino somehow.
Yes.
He's got the connects.
Yes.
Definitely does.
Yes.
I mean, because if he was able to pull the Joe Rogan podcast within a matter of days, like, he's got the pull to get Pacino, in some realm.
Yeah. Of course. I think he has a pull. I think he does have a pull. OD has a pull. Like, for him, yeah. I think he just has to say the word. Somebody just has to put it in his ear.
Yeah.
Like, yo, Al Pacino. Up. Hey, easy. Al Pacino.
It's to come. It's to be expected. I think so. We'll get on that committee. He gets a committee in PR for Kanye 2024. We'll make that our first act.
If not,
yeah.
I hope Al Pacino stays alive because I'll put him on my album.
There you go. Use him to your own benefit. I mean, why not? You guys are close enough. I mean, he's a Bronx boy. You're a Brooklyn boy. You know the vibes already.
Yeah, I'll just, it'll probably take a couple of tweets. Like, Al Pacino. Al Pacino.
And he just writes back in all caps, what?
Please. What? And I hear it in his voice. What? Please don't monologue for my album. Please.
Okay. Just stop tweeting me.
Thank you.
I can't figure it out yet.
I need the script. I need the script.
Where's the script?
Where's the script? Oh, man.
Yeah, but that'll be fun, though. But that's the whole album in itself.
Yeah.
Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, of course. We had to do it properly with, of all people, another Ye fan like I am. Admittedly.
Yes.
Brenden, the realest of them. The last of a dying breed of Brendens, because he's the one and only. After him, there shall be none.
It will be extinct.
Exactly. No Brenden with two E's like him. Brenden, I do have to ask this last question as a Ye fan, and after having recapped the whole album itself.
Hit me.
Is this the best Kanye
Yes.
album? Easily?
Yes.
Or is there anything close to it?
Easily.
No question.
Easily. In my opinion, easily. Easily the greatest Kanye album. To me.
Okay. I'll definitely put that.
To me.
As you said, you go back to it every couple of weeks. You have to. It's a necessity.
I don't know. It's just, I have to. It's to me, it's his greatest work. It's his greatest work to me.
I co-sign that entirely. Definitely the best Kanye album out there, if ever, and possibly.
It's probably not going to get no better than that.
No.
That's his Illmatic.
Yeah, easily. That's his Illmatic. That's his Reasonable Doubt. That's his Ready to Die. Yeah. That's Stankonia.
That's
all
it.
that.
Stankonia, yes.
That was a hard album.
Yes.
Actually, let's not sleep. Brief side note. Let's not sleep on that debut Outkast album, Sudden Playalistic. That was a really good one.
Oh
too.
yeah, that was on 1994. That was in 1994 too.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I always say 1994 is the best year in hip hop of all time, because Illmatic came out,
mm-hmm.
Ready to Die came out.
Yep.
Regulate, the song with Nate Dogg, and Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music came out that year.
Strong year.
Psh, bro. I think possibly the strongest year in hip-hop we've ever had.
I might be wrong, but I think I most likely am. I thought initially the Street Fighter album came out too in 94 for the movie. But no, I think that might have been 95.
Maybe.
I hope.
Maybe Mortal Kombat or no?
No, Combat was 95.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
The movie.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, I only brought up that point because the soundtrack that Street Fighter the movie is low-key kind of actually, I say damn near a classic because of how many people is on the album.
Okay.
Nas is on it, Ice Cube's on it.
Oh, wow.
A couple other big names too, I forget. But yeah, it wasn't a bad album at all.
Wow.
It just goes, it contrasts completely from the movie itself, which was, I mean, Jean-Claude playing an American general. So,
Yeah.
Or a GI, whatever he was.
Wow. That's dope.
Yeah, check that out if you get a chance.
I will.
But
Definitely will.
That's it. That's done. It's fact. It's spoken into the universe.
That's it.
Al Pacino will work with Kanye, and if not, most likely because whoever's got the bigger ego that day, he will work with Brenden. Brenden will get Al Pacino to do whatever.
Where's the script?
Where is the script?
Give me the script.
Cough it up.
I need it. Now. I need the script.
I just want him to do, I think the soundtrack we all want him to do is Massa. Massa.
Massa.
That'd be epic.
Oh, man.
Just like this was epic. And I thank you so much sincerely for the time
and
investing into this as far as celebrating this album.
Thank you.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy turning 10 on November 22nd, 2020.
Awesome.
Year's been crazy enough. Year's been hectic enough. But listen, we got that to celebrate and commemorate. We did that already. By the way, do not forget PS5 comes out. When it does, oh yeah, the same day as something bigger comes out, DeadAss. Or DeadAss, $, ching ching at the end.
DeadAss. Ching.
Let's not forget about that community.
Yes, never.
They play a vital part in the who might be actually rolling into a record store to buy your single. Then they get told, no, this is digital, sir. We're not 1990 anymore. You have to go and get a computer, a big thing with a floppy disk, hard drive, whatever you got, and get it through there. The internet exists, sir. But
it exists.
DeadAss, though.
DeadAss.
I'm proud of you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm proud of the consistency and the work ethic.
Thank you so much.
Brenden, thank you as always so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Where's the script?
Where is the script?
I need it now. Where's the script? Goodbye.
Something Spictacular, who this is on Instagram, on youtube.com/who this is one. Please, Brenden, do not let us close out without you telling them where they can find you.
All right. Follow me. Instagram, anywhere, everywhere, TikTok. I'm new to TikTok or whatever. So that's Realist Brenden. RealestBrenden. And you could go to my website at Brenden Official, BRENDEN official.com. All my merchandise is there and anything. And please support YouTube channel Brenden Official. DeadAss dropping November 12th. By the time you hear this, it had already dropped. So don't forget to go stream it. No excuse. Get at it. Everywhere you find music.
If you listen to music, you might as well pay yourself a little favor and do that.
Yeah.
DeadAss.
Stream it a couple of thousand times.
Please do. Thank you again, Brenden. I appreciate it, bro.
Thank you.
Yo, it's over. All right, it's over. Move the mic. Thank you. All right.